Welcome to Outlaws Unleashed. Grandma, what's going on with the culture war?
Well, it's obvious that they are using the internet to confuse and divide people, to make us to not resist
Really?
or to unite.
Okay, how do you reckon this?
Well, first of all, they are using internet for propaganda, psychological engineering, I would call it. Um, Suddenly, the truth has become hate speech. Um, Native people are the crooks, and criminals are the good guys, and they arrest people for people get 2 or 3 years in prison for praying outside an abortion clinic, and they get 2 months for raping a kid.
It seems like
They
you're just
constantly how to say, blame people for hate speech all the time, and they are smearing people with racist, transphobe, conspiracy theorist, and with all this, we end up self-censoring, and that is their goal, I think.
it seems like you're describing a horror movie.
Yeah, but hasn't it been a horror movie lately?
I would say
When you
so.
think,
Yeah.
yes, when you think about COVID and they lock us up in the house and uh, mandating us, or trying at least, or many places, they mandated people to participate in a dangerous experimental medicine experiment, and people were wearing masks, and people were turning against each other, being suspicious of others, scared of other people. They destroyed families, they destroyed the relationship between friends. It is a horror movie, I think.
What could be the reason for eliminating cultures like this?
They want to be in control. People who are in power nowadays, um, people don't go to politics anymore because they want to do good for their country. That is something who is way back in the past. They go to politics because they want to do a career, to make money, and most of all, to be in control of people, be in control of others.
It seems to me like it's if I didn't know any better, I would say that it would look like paid actors in positions of government. If I were to
Yes,
see it like a movie like this, I think it's so they're not going after the good in life. They're not protecting people. They're not trying to do a job for society. And the result is a horror movie.
it is a
So
horror movie.
yeah. So is it a specific point in time where this happened, or is it always like this?
Um, with the internet, and I remember back when internet came and became everyone had access to use the internet. I remember I was thinking already then, what if this falls into the wrong hands? And naive as I am, of course, I was thinking um, not to worry because the authorities are in control of this. But then it turns out it's them who is misusing the internet.
As the
to
world,
stifle.
yeah, but
Hmm?
Grandma, as the world is changing now, we see it's pretty much going from globalism to nationalism across the world. We see the rising of the BRICS. We see the rising of new currencies. We see so things are changing. How does this relate to what's going on, you think?
Are you thinking about a global awakening?
It's a
Yeah,
way we see it, yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
But is it so that's on also not a level of us, the people? There seems to be a global awakening among nations also, because
Yeah, it seems to be.
yeah. So
Maybe it's just maybe it's just this good old battle between good and evil.
is it so easy?
I don't know if it's, but sometimes it feels spiritual because uh, it's hard to believe. It's very hard to believe that people who are in charge, who are responsible, can do what they are doing to the citizens
But
to
that's
stifle
from
our
a
free.
but Grandma,
Mhm.
that's from a basis of you thinking that people are good.
Yeah,
Seems like if people are good in general, how come the monsters are in positions of power?
well, I do think people are good in general.
Mm. I also do.
Yes,
Mm.
I do think we are born as good people.
Mm. But again, you see, there's a culture war raging, and if people were good in positions of power, they would keep their nations and their people in good standing, you say like this. But now
Yeah,
we are eliminating much of the culture foundations in societies. We are getting a bland society that's the same, especially you see our perspective here in Europe. We see our old history is being wiped out. We are getting new citizens with their culture, which are blending in and taking over like this. So our culture is diminished.
yeah, and that goes for all the Western world.
Mm.
They are trying to do this, and this strategy of dividing and demoralizing people is is very old. Julius Caesar was is reckoned as the first one who was using this, and he was using it as a political and a military strategy to conquer his enemies. And you saw what happened to the Roman Empire.
At
That's
least
the good news.
at least the official story, yes.
Yes,
Mm,
yes,
mm,
yes, the
mm.
official one. Yeah, maybe it never crumbled. Maybe. Yes.
Yeah, but that brings us back today, Grandma. We don't want to focus on the doom and gloom. We want to give people some hope in this. So, what can normal people do about this in their daily
Speak,
lives?
speak,
Mm,
speak the truth.
mm.
And don't fall for this self-censor approach.
So it's so easy, huh? But so difficult
Yeah,
to make money.
we have to speak. We have to speak.
But
And I think a lot of the people in power, um, politicians, for example, yeah, let's say I was elected to the parliament and I come in there and I'm starting to work. I think it's very easy to get caught up in the environment who is in there. And I think it's almost possible to avoid being caught up in this. So this can be the problem, not that all politicians are not thirsty for power or bad people, or no.
I
They
also
are
believe
scared people.
that, yes, I also believe that people can come in with good intentions.
Yes.
The system around it is questionable. If
Yeah.
many people around you that means different things from you, or all of the organizations is set in their ways, how can you really change it? Being
Yeah.
a sole person doing this is very difficult. So the only way is to communicate like we do to
Yeah.
amateurs on the internet.
Yes.
Mm,
All people can do this.
mm,
If you have a smartphone and a friend to speak with, you can do like we do now.
mm,
Go to Zoom and start to speak. Just speak.
mm. For people finding it difficult, though, how can they talk to their friends and family, you think, to start with this?
Yeah. That can also be a difficult topic, especially after the vaccines,
Mm.
because that was dividing a lot of families and destroying families.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
can we do it without mentioning it? Can we find a common way to work
Yeah.
around it?
I find myself with some parts of my family. We can have a nice time if I don't speak, if we don't mention the vaccines and Trump. And both of those things are very big issues. So,
Yeah, but
yeah,
for everybody, I think their everyday life shouldn't be about a politician. It
no,
should be about their life and their family.
yeah,
Mm. And like you
yeah,
say,
but
many now have the smartphones, but also you find a place that you feel comfortable with. Also, if you feel safe and good, I think you have come a long way.
yeah,
But yeah, uh, well, interesting topic though. If-
yeah, it
uh,
is.
Do you think
And
there's a big difference in on the different continents? You think Europe is different from the other ones, or is it the same all over the place?
yeah, at this point in time, in time and history, I think the differences are dependent on how the countries was handling COVID and the injections, because that was a very big one. And yeah,
But is it so easy that that it all goes back to this? I'm guessing that the audience of this will think that okay,
yeah,
how can this be? So is it everything goes back to the same? Uh, and if it goes back to the same, has it happened before?
yeah, it was a major starting point, at least, of
Yeah.
what is going on now. Yeah. And these um, propaganda and culture war and information war and all these things has happened a lot of times before, but then they didn't have internet, so they could do it in, for example, in Russia. Stalin, he was dividing conquering and controlling people there with this, using this propaganda and lies and destroying families and religion and all these things. But now they have made it global. And again, as we have said many times, we don't know who they are. Some people, some people are convinced that it's a small group of people who is portraying all this evil on society. And maybe it is. We know some of the faces, in the World Economic Forum,
but again, well,
yeah,
also, we can speculate about this
yeah,
as two amateurs. Uh, if people with a bigger platform and know more, they can also speculate about this. Uh, um, if as pressure is one thing when talking about this, but for normal people and conserving their culture, I think it also like the talking we are mentioning and saving their culture and taking care of traditions and doing the old meals and the costumes and preserving their traditions as a society is becoming more important and more important, I think.
yeah,
And also resist it. That's the main point. If you don't want your life crumbling, do something about it and start with the small things.
yes. I think that is very important.
Mm.
But if you have noticed, um, it's it's our culture and traditions and Christian values who's going to be destroyed. So
Mm.
that's the strategy seems very clear to divide, to demoralize, and replace.
Yeah,
It looks like, yeah,
yeah. So we see an example of this here in Norway. We have the government is trying its best now to change it, but it's the history of us, the Sami people. We'll erase
yeah,
our history because we are officially, I think we're something about 20,000 or something like this, 20 something. We are more, of course, but that is registered like this. And it used to be a lot. So, um, but now it's reparation time and they're pushing time and effort and money to getting, trying to make it better. But it's still uh, history that's being had been erased. That's it's
yeah.
difficult to
Mm.
um, live up again and live it like this. And people were, as of for the Sami people here in Norway and Finland and Sweden and Russia like this, it was difficult being one of the Sami people because you was not allowed to speak the language and doing the culture like this, and you were pretty much hated in all of society.
Yeah,
And the reparations doing now is just a small bandage like this. So um, it's interesting to see how it will go forward.
yes, it
Um,
is.
so when you give the
Mm.
example of a nation like this, so if you're talking about thousands of people, it's one thing. When you're talking of hundreds of thousands and millions and erasing cultures, it's much, much.
Yeah,
Yeah, the scale is, yeah.
yeah. The scale is very, very big,
Mm.
and it was made possible with the internet. And
Yeah,
and
but the internet is also the solution, you are saying.
yes, the internet is also the solution.
Yeah.
And we um, uh, people's urge for freedom is something basic, is something that comes from nature. And I think that people will wake up to this at some point. And as we said, hundreds of thousands are already. So the clue is to not let them control you.
Mm.
And you see, for example, uh, there is a couple of things they still they are how to say, too scared to destroy. That is, for example, sports. They tried in America to destroy this also, but when it comes to sport, we are allowed to be nationalist, to root for our own country and to play the national anthem and stuff like this. These, it seems like they are quite scared to attack.
But that's an also
Um,
double-edged sword, Grandma. You see,
yeah,
if you control the people with that goes back to the Roman times,
yeah,
bread and circus.
yes, yes,
Give people bread and circus.
yes, yes. This also, but
So
it also serves as a cultural thing
it does.
with the sports. Yeah, and also um, another thing when, at least in the West, when people die, they go to church to bury their loved ones. I was thinking, or maybe they were thinking, that people would, um, because they are trying to make people abandon religion. And maybe they were thinking that people would do that. But when
But can that
people,
really be done, Grandma? Because it's one thing here if you don't have an official religion, but religion over the world is pretty much the glue that brings
yeah,
society together. And it's
yes,
one thing here for Christianity, which is the main one. I don't think like in Muslim countries they can do this easily. I'm not sure if they want either. But we as Westerners, as so-called white people, we are pushed to give up the religion and the
yeah,
Christianity.
yeah,
Why do you think this is?
because them they want to be in control. They don't want God to be in control. So
Hmm.
yeah,
But
I
I
think so.
also yeah, but I also think it's part of the society glue. If you
Yeah,
take away a corner of society, like
mm,
religion is, and one of the pillars of the society is taken out, it's easier to topple a society and get your own will in.
yeah,
Yeah, so so-called they can do what they want.
yeah, yes,
I,
that's
I
true.
believe so.
Yes, yeah,
Interesting as always, Grandma.
yeah,
We are on an interesting subject the next time. It's children
yes,
vaccination.
yes.
I'm not sure if you're going to say so much about it. I urge the people to like and subscribe. Follow us on X. Fiery topic next time. Grandma, this is
Yeah.
Outlaws Unleashed. Thank you for the day.
Thank you.
See you guys next time. Goodbye.
Bye bye.